Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Beckoning Brilliance. I'm your host, Becca, and my guest this week is my friend, Brian. Brian owns a cafe slash apothecary in Massachusetts. He's well versed on CBD, hemp, kratom, kava, so we will be talking about all of those things plus a lot more today. So, just as a disclaimer, this information shared is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure, and is for educational and entertainment purposes only, if you know what I'm saying. So, I don't know about where you guys live, but there's a CBD store on every corner here. And I think a lot of people are really confused about the benefits of CBD and hemp, and a lot of people don't even know what kratom or kava is. So he's super funny. He is all about approachable knowledge. So this is definitely the most entertaining way that you could possibly find to learn about all these topics. So without further ado, let's get into it.
That's all right.
Okay, Brian, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here. So you are the owner of Cafe Blue Dream in Amesbury?
Yes.
Yes. Is that Massachusetts?
It is.
I'm so confused with all the little states.
40 minutes north of Boston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
North Shore of Boston.
Yeah, give me that Boston accent. So I actually don't even know how you got into like the hemp CBD world. So can you give me a brief overview of that?
Yeah. So very short, 30-second snapshot. First career that I had was I'm a classically trained chef and baker, and I did that for 20 some odd years. Burnt out, decided to go into the holistic world, became a holistic practitioner. Basically, my licensing is in nutrition, herbalism, and acupressure. And then I am a certified, through the American Medical Association, certified hemp consultant, I guess that's basically what it's called. And in the holistic world, 4 or 5 years ago, 2018, 2019, so becoming a shift where through the Farm Act, hemp and cannabis basically became legal, or got taken off lists of things that were bad for you. And once that started happening, I started doing a ton of research on it and figured out or realized how amazing it was. And from 2018 through 2019, worked on this concept of having a hemp cafe, or an apothecary and cafe merge into one. So it's both my worlds. It's the cafe side is my culinary world, and the hemp side, or the apothecary side, it's more than just hemp, it's full apothecary, is my holistic world. And I just merged the two. And in that, while doing all that, learned so much about hemp. And it's like the CBD and hemp. Because a lot of people think CBD is one thing and hemp is another, but CBD is actually just a compound of hemp. So that's kind of how I did it. I just wanted to keep growing and figuring different ways of helping people, and found hemp. That's the short of it.
I like it. I thought that hemp and CBD were like kind of the same thing. I honestly don't know much about any of it, so I'm excited to learn more.
So hemp. So there's the umbrella is cannabis, and then two offshoots from cannabis are the marijuana plant and the hemp plant. So they're cousins basically. But so when people say cannabis, a lot of people think cannabis is THC and that gets you high. Cannabis is just like the mother that has the two offshoots. And then, so the hemp plant has under 3% THC in it, and it's hemp-derived THC, so you don't get high from it because it's so minor. I think there's something like 50 or 55% of the hemp plant is CBD, and then all the like different cannabinoids come under that, and THC is very, very minor. But there is hemp and THC, but you don't get high. CBD itself is actually an antidote. So if you're ever too high, like you're ever someplace and you smoke too much marijuana, THC, CBD itself is an antidote.
Really?
It will cut your high, yeah. And yeah, so CBD is an antidote. So that's why you could have like you drink an entire bottle of hemp and not get high from it, because there's more CBD than THC, hemp-derived THC. And I have my little things here to show you to plug as we go.
You're in Havana? I like it.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of how I got into it and what I do.
So I've been to your store a couple times now, and you're in a very like walkable area. So I'm assuming you get a lot of people kind of wandering in. And what is the number one question that you get? Because I'm assuming that people come in, they're like, where do I even begin? What is this?
Well,
Am I gonna get high
when I,
off this?
when I first opened, I would have parents that would poke their head in and hold their child outside. And I'm like, oh, can I help you? They're like, yeah, we want to get something, but we don't want our kids to get high. Can I just order it and wait out here? I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like, so the biggest thing is information. So my company tagline is approachable knowledge, and
Hmm.
that's just because there's so much misinformation
Yeah.
about hemp and CBD. People still think you get high
Right.
from hemp or CBD. So that's the biggest question. How much can I take where I don't get high because I still have to drive? A lot of people come in and say, oh, they'll want a coffee. And it's like, oh, you're a CBD stuff. Well, I can't get a coffee. I have to drive. I don't want to get high. How's that possible? So in my mindset, I'm like, how is it possible where you're going to have a cup of coffee with CBD in it and it equates in your mind to getting high? Like I can't. I have a hard time with that because it makes so much sense to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I guess if I go see you and say, oh, God, be careful. I don't want my skin to peel off. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense, right? Like someone comes to see you and that's what they think. It makes no sense.
No.
So like someone walking in thinking they're gonna get high walking in through my doors doesn't make any sense to me. So
People just don't understand. Yeah.
exactly, there's still such taboo around
Right.
the hemp industry and
Hmm.
the CBD industry that so to answer your question, the most common question is, will I get high? Am I going to get high? Can I
Hmm.
drive after I have a cup of tea with CBD in it? Yes, you can drive. Of course you can drive. You're actually be more relaxed. You're not gonna have road rage. Actually, you can be more calm. You know,
Especially in Boston.
yeah, right. It's just so that's the biggest thing is, can I? Will I get high? Yeah,
Hmm.
no,
So
you
no.
will not.
Yeah.
So this is 3,000 milligrams, right?
Hmm.
You can drink this whole thing, and only thing that's gonna happen to you, like the only side effect is you want to take a crazy. You can have the best nap of your life. That's the only side effect. You can have the best nap ever. But no, you're not gonna. There's no high involved. You know?
Yeah. Sign me up. So in general, like what are the benefits of CBD and hemp? I know there's probably a very long list, but
There's a
say
billion.
someone wanted,
So,
yeah, but
so
like just even like putting it in your tea or putting it in your coffee, like in my head, I'd be like, okay, what is the benefit of that?
Sure. So people come in mid afternoon. I get a lot of people come in that get a coffee with CBD in it because it actually instead of getting the afternoon jitters, like if you have like in the afternoon you have maybe your third, fourth cup of coffee, whatever it is,
Hmm.
instead of getting those jitters, it kind of just focuses you. It kind of hones in your focus on whatever it is you want to do, which is kind of the best thing about having a CBD coffee in the afternoon. It just nullifies the jitters and kind of focuses you in. It's the best thing
Okay.
about it. Yeah. Or any beverage because we can add hemp or CBD to any of the products we make on the cafe side. And I'm sorry if I keep looking over there. I'm looking at my cafe end of the store, so I keep looking over there. Or
You're
over
good.
here is the apothecary. So just so you know what I'm doing. I'm not taking cues from people. It's just my store. But yeah, so that's probably the best part. It focuses in the energy of the caffeine. It
Okay.
focuses in. Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I have a lot of people. Sorry, I have a lot of people that come in. Before I made my side room into an office, it was kind of a gathering room, and I had
Okay.
a lot of people that come in and like adult college students or people that are going for the various degrees would come in and
Hmm.
use that room in the afternoon with the CBD coffee. It was just a great kind of spot where they could just sit and focus on their studies. So even people out there, you're out in the world, add some hemp to your coffee, and you'll be able to focus on your studies a little bit more. A little tip for you.
That's a hot tip. So, seeing as how there is so much misinformation, how do you go about advertising and like drawing people in? Because I think because so many people are like, "Oh, am I gonna get high?" And even just like I said, the cute little neighborhood that you're in, I'm sure a lot of people are probably like, "Ooh, I can't go in
Yeah,
there."
yeah,
So,
yeah.
is there a way
So
that yeah,
the biggest thing I had to learn to do was overcome when people come in and talk with me.
hmm
I'll kind of re-educate or overcome them saying, "Hey, well, I bought CBD from a gas station last month, and I tried it, and it didn't do anything for me." And so it's all education, explaining. Well, one, you probably had a crap product because you're buying it from a gas station. It's like the whole
yeah,
gas station sushi. Like, come on, like, it's just horrible, right? So don't do it unless you're getting
Food,
gas
yeah, food
or water.
poisoning.
Don't get that gas station hot dog. Don't get gas station sushi. Just don't do it. Don't get
Yeah.
gas station CBD. It doesn't make any sense. So overcoming things like that is the biggest thing that I have to do. And so as far as education goes or advertising goes, it's really when people come in, just talking to them. There's 1,000. Like, I guarantee you're not going to ask me a single question today that I haven't answered 1,000 times. People just, it's not because you don't have good quality questions. Your good quality questions, I hear them all. Yeah. People come in and they just need information. Like, what is, like, people come in and say, well, I took 10 milligrams last month and it didn't cure my cancer. Well, okay, like, how is that a thought? You know what I mean? It's the holistic world, and holistic nutrition or holistic products, their whole body. It's not, and it takes time. Like, if you took 20 years to hurt your body, you can't take one product for 4 days to fix the issue.
Right.
It's not how it works. So, people will come in and they'll think they can take a couple of drops and fix their issue, and it's just explaining to them that it takes time. You will feel things. You will feel, like you asked, where are the main things? Calm of mind. So no matter what hemp line you take, they all have similar main effects. So peace of mind, anti-inflammatory, pain relieving, helps you sleep, and overall just a feeling of wellness. All hemp or CBD will give you that. Now, then there are different cannabinoids within there, and each one of those has a different quality. So it'll have those 4 or 5 things, plus it works on energy, or it works on mood, or it works on, like, CBN as a sleep aid. Some of them work on blood pressure or blood sugar. So each one has a different primary quality, but they all have the kind of calming, peace of mind, anti-inflammatory qualities that I just mentioned. But I'm kind of all over the place, I'm sorry. Advertising, get to your second question. Yeah. Advertising is difficult because there are red flags in social media. So a lot of my advertising I have to do word of mouth. When I first opened this, I wasn't aware that social media wasn't caught up with the times of this being accepted nationally and locally. So I went up in my store and I went on full blast advertising. CBD this, CBD that, CBD this. I hashtagged and tagged and talked and did captions for CBD everything. I got warning number 1, warning number 2, and then boom, you can no longer advertise. So I lost my ability to sell, my ability to promote, my ability to advertise. I want to say it was like for 3.5 years. It was like crazy. And your business name is associated with your personal account, so it wasn't just the store. Like, I couldn't just close my store name and reopen a new one because it's my primary account. Which Then I tried. Okay, no problem. I'll set up a new account, but now it's tied to their email address. Okay, so I set up a new email address. Now it's tied to the pinging of my computer. So no matter what attempt I made, new phone numbers, new email addresses, new business names, new meta name, Facebook name, no matter what I did, it was somehow linked back to me as a person. I don't know how the hell they do that, but it's kind of scary.
It's super scary.
So yeah, everything I did, the algorithm or whatever, the AI, whatever it is, somehow came back to, oh, this is still Brian. This is still his business. And yeah, so for like 3.5 years, I couldn't do any form of advertising, any social media, or selling, or promoting, because I kind of went too hard, too fast. Once it became legal, I assumed it's good to go. We're good to go. Let's do it. And I did it, and got locked out. So it was just word of mouth. And that was also, this was right as I opened, right before COVID.
Yeah.
Which was all the other crap that we don't have to get into because I don't want you to lose your channel to shit I'm going to say on that. But we'll leave that alone. So on top of losing all that, businesses were shut down. Which, oddly enough, I was able to keep my business open, not because of my immune boosting apothecary products that I sell, But because I'm a coffee shop, and God forbid you don't allow people to get their coffee in the morning, right?
Interesting.
So I was able to keep my doors open
Yeah.
because my business was on the, I forget, was like the approved list or the there was a segment of businesses that were allowed to stay open because they were on some list in coffee shops, um,
Liquor stores.
liquor stores, tobacco, and like mega chains like Walmart's and Targets were able to stay
Yeah.
open. But yeah, health gyms, fitness
Salons.
centers, apothecaries could
Hmm.
not stay open. Which
Yeah.
again, I won't deep dive that one for you because I like your channel, so I don't want to get tagged. I don't want to get flagged too much. But yeah, so I
That's
was
good.
only able to stay open during COVID because of my because I serve coffee. So people would they'd poke their head in, or they would text me or call me from outside the door, tell me they wanted coffee, and I'd have to, for their sake, I'd have to open the door, hand them a coffee, and then they would like just hand me like $5 or whatever. Yeah, it's craziness. But yeah, so advertising.
Yeah.
Get back to that. Sorry,
You're good.
I tangent a lot. You're gonna have to deal with that. I do lots
You're
of
a
tangents.
Gemini. You're a Gemini.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah. I
good.
go everywhere. So advertising is very difficult.
Yeah.
Local papers, like there's a local business that does paper advertising, so I'm in with them. Local chamber, advertise with them, or being a member of the chamber,
Hmm.
do events with them. They've actually been very good. Our local chamber is probably the best chamber I've ever been. So I've been part of a chamber since I started my job. I think 16. Since the job I have when I was 16, I've been part of a chamber since then. Whether I was the business owner, the director of operations for the company, or just worked at the company,
Hmm.
I've been associated with the chamber since I was 16. And this Amesbury chamber, this new one right now, is the best chamber I've ever been involved with. They're phenomenal. They are 100% all about Main Street America small business building. Phenomenal. They were phenomenal. The only one, every other one I've been associated with has been all about building their rainy day funds for their own chamber.
Right.
Self-promoting themselves.
Yeah.
This was fantastic.
Awesome. So going back to gas station CBD, gas
Yeah,
station sushi, gas station hot dogs. So I'm assuming that obviously, like anything else, the quality and where you get it from, the source, is
yeah,
equally as important when it comes to CBD and hemp. So
yes,
where do you get all your stuff, or is that
yes,
can I not
yes.
ask that question?
So the number one thing I tell customers, so I let people come in, and because I'm known in the area for the approachable knowledge, right? For the knowledge base. So
Hmm.
whether someone buys from me or doesn't, which obviously I prefer them do, but people will come in and ask me questions, and then I'll get I got to think about that, and then whatever they buy it online, whatever they do, which is fun. So at least I'm getting information out there. But there's a thing
Do
called
you have an online? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you have an online store?
yes, yeah. So cafebluedream.com.
Perfect.
There's your thumbnail. A COA is a certificate of authenticity. Is what you
Hmm.
want. Any product you buy has to have a COA. Whether you buy it from me in store, me online, Amazon online, or any other company you buy it from, make sure you have access to their COA because it shows that the product has been tested, and it shows what it tests for. I have a whole book, right? And
Oh
then
wow.
in this book has all of my like it's all of the whole thing is this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see, or sorry, this is probably easier. So this is what it looks like, right? So this is what it is, and
Yeah.
it shows everything that's in it. So it shows the different cannabinoids. So it's CBD, CBV, CBA, CBG, CBD, THV, CBN, how much Delta 8, CBC, and then it shows the percentages of all of those. And then it shows the levels of different terpenes, which you can go into in a minute. And then it shows what's not in it. So it shows there's no pesticides, there's no chemicals, there's no hard waters, there's nothing negative. Um, so this is actually high. So CBD hemp taken from a reputable a reputable source, whether it's a retailer like myself or companies that I buy from, is extremely regulated. Like, so if someone from the state came in and asked to see any of the COAs of my product, I'd have to show it to them to show that my product is clean. It comes from a legitimate, real source, and it's not just me growing in my backyard. I have one of these for everything on my shelf. So that's one. So when you go to, again, the gas station sushi places, they're not going to have that. I can't say not all of them are going to have that. People that I've spoken with that originally tried that had no access to that. So I'll base it off that, because obviously there could be one out there that has it, and I don't want to put them down. So that's number one. Has to have a COA. And it also shows the potency of the whole bottle and potency of how many milliliters, because you need to know that also. And then sourcing all around. Like, most of my products come from Colorado, Vermont, are my two, like the companies I work with don't all come from there, but the sources they have, I believe, all come from Colorado or Vermont. So the regions they're grown in are known for that. Like, if you randomly ask someone on the street, where would you think hemp or marijuana was grown? I would assume Colorado and Vermont would probably be in the top 5 answers of most people. Oh, and one's actually Maine. One's Maine. So Maine, Colorado, and Vermont.
It's legal in Maine?
What they do is the hemp grow house. So this is very interesting. This company's fantastic, actually. Let's talk about local. His grow house, or his fields, are in Maine. Mm-hmm. His corporate office, which is like the size of this right here, is in New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. And his production facility is in Vermont. So this guy, Ryan, great guy. Coyote River is Ryan. As far as local goes, he got locked down. So Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. He is the tri-states. Good guy too. Yeah. No, Chuck is the rogue herbalist, who's a friend of mine up in Vermont, and he owns an apothecary as well, and gets all of his hemp from locally sourced, certified hemp farms in Maine, and then has and produces himself. He has a facility, and that product is clean. I refer to him as the master herbalist. He's very good, very smart guy.
I was actually going to ask you about, so you have like Delta 8, do you have Delta 9? Like, all the deltas, like, that's all kind of confusing to me. Isn't that kind of like a gray area of legality?
Yeah, well, it's not gray legal. It is legal. It's just gray because some people don't like it. So Delta 8 and THCO and some Delta 9. So in the hemp plant, you have, like I mentioned, like about 120 different cannabinoids. But in there, slivers, small percentages are Delta 8, THCO, and very small sliver of Delta 9. So what chemists did after this became legal is they extracted out those various compounds and basically put it through a reduction process or a compounding process and made it larger, and then put it back onto the hemp flower. So now we have Delta 8 THCO and Delta 9 in gummy form on the hemp flower that I can sell, and does the same exact thing as marijuana does. Delta 8 and THCO does the same thing marijuana does. And I can sell it through the retail store because it's an extraction of the hemp plant, which you don't need a dispensary license to sell, which is very cool. A dispensary license in Massachusetts to set up shop, the facility you need, and the licensing you need, and all the permits. It's hundreds of thousands, not pushing $1 million, to get one up and running. It's insane. Once you have all your inventory and your product, and you basically have to treat it like a bank. You have to have, and I don't own one, so people that I know that own one, this is what they've told me. So if I'm off and someone sees this, don't put me on blast.
Forgive him.
It has to be something like bank. Like, you have bulletproof glass. You have barricades in front of this door so people can't ram it. You have an off-duty officer outside. You have an entry door, and then a secondary door they have to come through. And then at night, your product line has to be wheeled into a safe, so you can't get to it. And
that's not your vibe.
no, my God, no. I like people coming in and hanging out
Yeah.
and just talking with me. Let's
Yeah.
just have a cup of coffee and just enjoy ourselves. I can't. No, that's not my vibe at all.
Is it legal in Massachusetts?
Yes, yes, it
It
is.
is.
There's actually
Okay.
three dispensaries within 2 miles of me. 2 miles of where I'm
Oh
sitting
wow.
right now. There's three dispensaries on the same road.
That's crazy. So if I was going to ask you if that would like potentially affect your business. I didn't know that it was legal in Massachusetts.
It does. It doesn't actually. I'm friends with the owners and employees of one of the locations, so they actually send people to me a lot because people will go in asking them that they say I have XYZ problem and I needed not necessarily to get high, but I need the healing aspect of it,
Sure.
and some pain relief and to stifle the growing. I'm not going to say what the topic they're talking about, but reduce the growth of it or slow it down or halt it or whatever that might be. And they'll actually send them to me because they don't
Oh,
have enough information on that topic themselves. So I'll
nice.
get people coming in saying, "Hey, so and so down the street told me to come by and see you because you have something that can help me with this particular topic." So no, it doesn't hurt my. If anything, it helps because we've become friends over the years, and likewise, people come in thinking I'm because of my signage. People coming in thinking I'm a dispensary, and so we'll
Mhm.
talk, and I'll send them their way.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you know who Elise Myers is? She has a social media thing where she tells stories, and whenever at the end of her story, she always goes like this, and behind her is whatever she's showing. So I just pulled in Elise Myers. If that means anything to anyone out there, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. But anyway, so no, it has not been my business.
That's good. I was thinking that like all this legalization was going to like put you guys out of business. So I'm glad that you guys work hand in hand. That's
Nope,
adorable.
not at all. Not at all.
Good.
Um,
Love to
and,
hear it.
and actually, they have heavy. They are way more regulated and heavily taxed. So I have a lot of people when they find out that I have product here that I can maybe give them. If people if THC or marijuana gives someone 100%,
Hmm.
my Delta 8 pre rolls probably bring them to 90%. But
Sure.
it's not this. It's way less money, less tax rate. I get a lot of people that come here because of that.
Yeah.
It kind of works out for me.
That's awesome. So let's talk about kava and kratom.
Yes,
I've never tried kava, but kratom I love.
I'm on kratom right now. So anyone that's watching this, I have that euphoric high going right now. I feel
Oh,
great.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I miss it.
Yeah, so they're both plants. They're both teas. So what I carry the leaves are dry like a tea and put in a powder form. So if you
Mhm.
think of a tea when you have loose tea and you put it in the sash or you put it in the tea balls like the metal tea balls and you steep them. That's basically what I do here, but I do it on a larger scale. I do it by a 5 gallon scale. So kratom has basically four types. Some argue say three, but it's basically four: a green, red, yellow, and white. And they all have the same five properties, but different potency. So like they are mood enhancing,
Mhm.
energy, anti-inflammatory, pain relieving, and anxiety. And so depending on which one it is, like so red has the highest anti-inflammatory pain relieving qualities, whereas yellow would have the highest mood enhancing, but also would still have anti-inflammatory. But let's say that's like the fifth on the level. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Mhm.
They all have the same five, just different potency of it.
Yeah.
And what I took prior to this was a mix of green and yellow. So it's the euphoric, mood enhancing energy boost. So I have to right now actively slow my speech down. While we're talking, in my head, I have to think to myself, slow down. But that's all right. So it just makes you just feel really good. Kratom just makes you
Hmm.
feel really good. I actually just had someone in here the other day who is ex-military.
Hmm.
She had a fractured pelvis from. Well, I'm not going to go into her story, but she fractured her pelvis, hurt her back. She's a great woman, but was in a lot of pain, constant pain. and got one of the packages. And the next day or a couple days later, I saw her. I saw her someplace else randomly, and she was telling me the first time in over a year where she hadn't had pain, and it was from the kratom, which obviously is phenomenal to hear, because anything I can do for our military, anything I can do, I'll do for them. And so I was so excited when she told me that. So she had been back since and to get more, but it helped with the anti-inflammatory and pain relieving properties of that one. And she's taking a little bit every day, every other day since then. So it has incredible properties. Kratom is fascinating to me because I only found out recently it wasn't legal in every state. So that's probably where you were going with that gray area thing. Vermont, of all states, Vermont, kratom is not legal, which is so weird to me. I would think like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't know what state. I don't know why it would be illegal. It makes no sense to me why it would be illegal. But yeah, in Vermont, it's not legal. So I can't ship, because I ship it out. So I can't ship to Vermont, because then once across state lines, it's like a felony or some shit. So I can't ship to Vermont. Yeah.
That's crazy. I know that when I came to visit you and I had it for the first time, you said it's kind of similar to having like a cocktail or two, but you don't feel drunk. You just have that kind of more like relaxed social feeling. So do you see a lot of people that are like maybe in sobriety, like come in and like, can you be addicted to kratom? Because I feel like even like when you told me you're like, I'm having kratom, I'm like, oh, I wish I had it. Like, is all that stuff, can it be addicting?
Yeah. So to answer your first thing, yes. What I tell people when they want to know the sensation, I equate it to having a tequila shot and an espresso shot together. Boom. That's the feeling you have with kratom. It's
Who doesn't want that?
And I tell people it's a great pregame. Like if you know you're going on Saturday night and it's like 7 p.m. or whatever time you pregame at.
Yeah.
I'm a little older, so I pregame at 6. You know, if 10 p.m. is your pregame time, great. You do a shot of kratom and a shot of tequila and a coffee. That's what it feels like. It's fantastic. And yeah, so there's a debate on that question. It definitely, what it does is it triggers. So you have a receptor in your brain, and it's actually called the opioid receptor. Not after the drug. The drug is after it, but it's the opiate receptor. And kratom kind of very lightly, like dings that bell, like little ding. You know, it's not a gong, but it definitely taps that bell a little bit. And there are people that have addictions that use kratom to wane off of their addiction. And not necessarily opiates, but whatever their addiction might be. And in lesser quantity, you know, just like a cup a day, not doing gallons of it, but a cup a day or less, it basically kind of settles the nerves a little bit. For if you're an addict of something and you have some kratom, it just kind of settles the nerves of the jitteriness of not having, having whatever it is you're addicted to. So in a sense that I guess someone could then become dependent on that ding. I think so. I don't want to say yes because I sell it, so I don't want to be that asshole that's selling that's selling the drug that's addicting. But I know
but it's hard because it's also good for you too.
Yes, it's very good for you. Yes, that's the takeaway. It's good for you. But I do know a lot of people that have used it to wane themselves off their drug of choice, and then step themselves off of that. I don't know anyone that's actually addicted to it. I only have heard people research. People say they have been, but I don't know anyone that has been addicted to it. So I'm not going to definitively say yes, but I can't definitively say no either.
All right, I like the ambiguity.
I have 5 gallons of it, literally, like behind this wall is my kitchen. I have 5 gallons of it in my fridge right now, and I don't like Jones for it. Like I'm not like running here every day. I probably have kratom maybe once a week. Like if I know I'm going out, like if Ann and I are going out Saturday night, I'll maybe have a small cup size of kratom, but not. So I don't know. Did that answer your question? I don't know. I think I
Yeah, I'm
answered
just
it.
thinking.
Did you answer the question?
Yeah, no, it's good. I just thinking about when I come to visit you guys. I'm like, so are we gonna stop by the shop? Like, can
Yeah.
we get some
Oh,
kratom?
I'm hoping shortly. I'm working on something that's actually in the works and not like working, but hopefully I can be able to mail some to you in the not too distant future on
Mm.
subscription basis by the case, maybe.
Oh,
So we'll see what's coming down the line. Little dropping of a hint there. Something that I'm working on. That
I
and
like
I
it.
don't mean like something like in the like something I'm actually working on right now where I have maybe some graphics done and maybe some labeling already done and maybe some
Oh, cool.
sourcing of product already done and maybe sourcing of who can put it in a can for me kind of already done. So
Sweet.
things in movement.
Oh, like the things that we talked about that one time
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah.
visited?
But finally
Yeah.
uh, have some stuff going.
Cool.
What I'm kind of excited about.
That's super exciting. I can't
Yeah,
wait to
yeah,
try it out.
yeah. And in researching that and doing that, I found out some stuff about kava.
Tell me
So
more.
kava. So kava has two different things. The main thing with both in kava, it's also a tea. I also have some here on site, powder form and brewed and ready to serve. But kava is relaxing. It's very
Okay.
calming. It's soothing. It's anti-inflammatory. It's pain relieving. So I treat kava for people that if they're having 2 or 3 glasses of wine a night to kind of wind down and they're like, whoa, they want to kind of pump the brakes on that, I
Mm-hmm.
recommend kava. It
Interesting.
it definitely takes that edge off. Like if if you had a tough day at work or just whatever your life is, I don't know, like whatever your life is, and you want to relax a little bit, but you don't want a substance. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want a pre-roll or a gummy or alcohol. Kava is definitely a non-addictive relaxant. It's very calming. It's great if you are doing like Anne's used it several times when she teaches some of her seminars, right? Just to kind of
Because she talks so fast. Yeah.
yes. But I've learned recently, and that's called a there's it's heavy and heady. So that one is a heavy kava because it kind of
Okay.
just relaxes you.
Okay.
Now there's another kava called a heady strain, and that
Okay.
one acts like kratom, which I only recently realized. I only recently found
Oh.
out. I never carried that one. I never used that one. And is the heady kava is legal in all 50 states, and it has a very similar feeling effect as kratom, without gently ding that bell in your brain. You know, so I'm actually working with that as well because that I can send or ship to Vermont without having be a felony charge against me. You know, so
We don't
we
want
don't want
that.
that. We don't want that. So I'm actually working with kava as well um,
Cool.
to be potentially something that could be on a subscription service as well.
Do you get a lot of like online orders like from other states?
Well, I haven't finalized that product line yet, so no.
Oh, sorry. I just meant like in general, like with
Oh,
just online stuff.
you know, not a ton, not some yes, definitely yes.
Hmm.
Um, not as much as I'd like because I can't technically advertise, so that inhibits
Well,
my.
maybe this will help.
Well, that's why I'm on here.
Not because you want it to be a good friend
I'm
and
just
tell
kidding.
the message.
I'm just kidding. I have like 12 followers, so I'm clearly on here to build your audience.
Shut up.
No, yeah. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Cause I think I've tried every avenue, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to create a whole new social media presence
Hmm.
that is not linked to myself. Like I have like I feel like I'm gonna have to go to like the library and use one of their computers, have a burner phone with a
So
new
you'll be like a drug dealer,
yeah right.
basically.
I've been called. I know, I know. So I'm gonna have to use a Yahoo email address that I'll have to create from the library computer center and create a whole new presence so that I can build my my kava kratom business. I can't and I'll actually have to pay somebody to do it for me because I don't even want my hands touching the laptop or my face being seen because they're gonna know, oh, hey, that's Brian, fingerprints, AI, that's him. So
Can I even post this?
I don't know. I'm afraid I'm actually worried about your business by having my face on it. So
I'm not worried.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
Okay, but wait. I'm sure you talked
Yeah.
about this earlier, but if it's legal, why can't you advertise it?
It's not okay. So what it is the social media. What do you call it? Terms of use. When you blindly click, I agree. You know what I'm talking about when you
Yeah.
sign up for everything.
Yes.
So in there, at the time when I set this up for 4 years ago now, in there, hemp was considered a controlled substance like
Okay.
heroin and cocaine. Believe it or not, it was
Okay.
a Schedule 1 substance.
Yeah.
So even though it was taking off the Schedule 1 substance on a government or legislative scale, it wasn't done on the terms of use for social media or for credit card processing or for bank deposit. Like dispensaries can't use conventional banking systems, and I can't use conventional credit card systems. I actually just lost just this
Oh,
past
that's
week.
right.
My third credit card processing company froze my accounts since I've been open in 4 years. I've had my accounts frozen. The worst one, not that you're asking about this, but since I'm going to assume you're going to ask. So the worst one was a year and a half ago. My account, they realized I was selling CBD hemp,
Mm-hmm.
so they stopped my processing without telling me. It was in the middle of a Friday afternoon. Customers here, and I went to go swipe their card, and it kept saying decline, decline, decline. And I'm like, hey man, I can take care of your business, you know. They kept declining their card, and then I realized that and I realized it was my service was stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So then I reached out to them, and I got an email. And so not only did they stop my ability at Friday afternoon, going into a weekend, which like all retailers, my busiest time is the weekend. So going to the weekend, they froze my account, my credit card processing account. They froze my bank account associated with my business because it was linked to that credit card processing system.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to use my business EIN number, but also my personal social security number to set up the account. They froze my personal bank account. So my credit card processing, my business account, and my personal account all frozen, done without word, without warning. They just shut it down. And it got frozen. So they're like, we're not going to relinquish any of these funds on any of your accounts until you show us your inventory and remove anything that we deem inappropriate. So I called them like, okay, well, go on my website. That's what I have. I have everything in all my stores on my website. I wasn't hiding anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, so basically you have to get rid of, at the time, I had less of a full apothecary product line. So I was probably 80% of inventory was some form of hemp, CBD. It's like, okay, you have to get rid of 80% of your inventory if you want your stuff back.
What kind of mafia shit is that?
Yeah, it was because I checked the box saying that I wouldn't sell anything that they deem inappropriate. So somewhere in section 5, line 8, subsection 12, it said CBD, and since I had that, they froze everything, which really sucked. So I'm going through my third processing system now because of that. And the thing that really sucks, this is the real bullshit about this one. The company they just dropped me.
Mm-hmm.
They were built. They were a small independent company that built themselves on the back of, they're called at-risk companies. So CBD is considered an at-risk product, if you can imagine. So and any other at-risk. So I think like gambling, marijuana, things like that are considered at risk. So CBD is in that category. And they built their whole company So their portfolio was something like 85% of their portfolio was at-risk businesses, and they kept growing down to like 50%, and now like 40%, and they were bought out by a larger bank credit card processing company, and
Mm-hmm.
the guy that owned the company, they said, hey, listen, we'll buy you out, we'll honor this valuation, but you got to dump that 40% of at-risk businesses, and it's got to be done now, or we're not moving forward with this sale. So the guy's like, all right, let's do it. So he sold out himself, and sold out all the people that helped build his company from ground up, and severed ties. And again, this was a Friday afternoon. I swiped a card, it didn't work. I called them and like, yep, sorry, maintenance update, unexpected. We're gonna be down for the weekend. We're really sorry. There's nothing we can do about it. It's like, shit. Okay, so they for that weekend, no sales. Coming in on Monday. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not open on Monday, but I reach out to them on Mondays, and I reach out to them on Monday, and they're like, yep, it's still going. Tuesday, I come in, swipe nothing. So I called them, and they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, we actually canceled your account, and here's why. So the guy stood. I mean, it sucks. I mean, he sold his, he got his mega million payday and dumped the 40% of his company.
That's shitty.
Yeah, so it really sucked. I mean, the thing I said was there was no warning, because they knew when I called them
Right.
Friday, there was just no warning. Like if they would have said, hey, by the way, 2 weeks, this is what's going
Right.
on, we're going to move along. Sorry, but give me 2 weeks to figure it out. Nope, just dumped it. Anyway.
Can you use Venmo or anything like that?
Nope, I can't do. I've none of that stuff because I can't do it. So cash sales, woo! But anyway,
Hmm.
so that's what I got on that. Don't remember what your question was. I hope I answered it. No idea what you asked me, but there it is.
I remember what I asked you. I remember I asked you why, if it's legal, can't you advertise?
Oh well, that's why, because on their books it's still archaic. They're still considered my product line still considered at risk. That's why I can't ship it. And that's why I can't. I can ship it. I can't sell it
Yeah,
through that credit card processing system.
that sucks. That's lame.
But it's all right. I mean, we find other way. We're finding ways to get around things like, So shameless plug. So what I'm doing is I had to create my own apothecary line.
I use
Um,
some of the products. They're great.
yes, yes. So this one, so do you mind if I show them real quick? Is that all
Absolutely
right?
not. No,
So
Vanna away.
so Vanna away. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So this one. So this is a CBD. This is 3,000 milligrams. This is my most potent thing I carry in here. Each dropper is 100 milligrams. Super potent. It's incredible. I've had a lot of people use this for when we're talking about Vigley, like things that have growths. We were talking about that. I was touching on that earlier. And I'm being cryptic on purpose, so I don't want anything to get flagged for you.
I
But
figured.
that helps it immensely, along with anxieties. I have people that have seizures that take it. It helped their seizures. I have a person coming in that is going to start using it. They have I'm not using any names, but they have a child that has non-verbal autism. And actually, I was really impressed with this. Their actual pediatrician recommended them to come to use it. So they spoke with their nurse friend, and their nurse friend actually recommended them to me. So the medical
Oh wow.
community actually is finally, slowly waking up to the idea of that maybe hemp and CBD can actually help. So I was very impressed that she got to me through a nurse from a pediatrician. That was really good. The
Yeah, I kind
bliss,
of figured. I figured that it was kind of like taboo because the medical industry doesn't want you cashing in on their profits. So that's
exactly.
that's reassuring to hear.
It's very reassuring. And so just quick side note, it's not necessarily it's not necessarily the doctors or the nurses, because some of them are a good amount of them are becoming open to it and actually starting to understand. Because I actually have a lot of nurses that come here to ask questions because they see the side effects that what they're doing or what their doctor is doing, how it's affecting the patient. So I actually have a lot of them coming by and talking with me about how it could help mitigate some of the side effects, because they're still going to be taking their prescriptions they're taking, but this can actually pull back some of the side effects that they're having. It's more of the insurance companies, which I won't go into details on that because it's long rabbit hole conversation on that one another day.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily always the doctors. It's what they are bound by their bosses they have to do. Anyway, so that's the CBD oil. And then Bliss, which is probably
I take that.
one of my fastest selling. This thing sells. Oh my God, this thing sells. So this is ashwagandha root extract, and emphasize extract and root because the root is more powerful than the leaf, and an extract, alcohol base, is more powerful than oil based. So this is incredible. This is one of those things where when you take it, and it is alcohol based. So if you can take it out of a liquid and just take it straight under your tongue, you can feel it like just absorb. You can feel it through your system. It's incredible. Love that product.
I take two dropperfuls of that a day, but I usually mix it in with water, so I'll have to try I'll have to do it straight.
It is alcohol based, so you are going to feel it, but you literally feel it because you have the membranes under your tongue. When the alcohol and the ashwagandha gets absorbed into the membranes, it goes straight into the blood system. You can feel it go through. It's incredible. It's so good. And then secondly is our Limitless one, which was one of our first two. The first two things I created were Limitless and Elixir for Life. And
I take Limitless as well.
Those two things. So I'll do Limitless first, since you take it. Yeah. This right here, I'll post it right here. Boom. Oh, hold on. Screenshot for you. Great 320. Hey. Okay, sorry. So Limitless is hemp, rhodiola, tulsi, turmeric, saffron, vanilla, and rose. This was developed with the idea of the actual name Limitless. So have you ever seen the movie? Did you see the movie Limitless? By any chance?
No, I haven't. You don't own a TV. I don't see shit.
You're right. I'm sorry. I forgot. So anyway, this movie Limitless, and it's about this person that finds. Real short. He finds there's this pill he takes, and it expands his mind. He feels limitless. Anyway, yeah. It was with Bradley Cooper. It's actually a pretty good movie. But anyway, okay. I was doing a round of. I don't know if I can say some dosing stuff. I don't know what I can say on here. I don't know what I can or cannot say.
I don't care what you say.
Okay, so I was doing a round of dosing, and it felt phenomenal. Yeah. And I was like, wow, I wish I could sell this through my cafe. I can't. I wish I could. So I was talking with my friend who is a master herbalist, phenomenal herbalist, brilliant man. Yeah. I was talking with him one day, and Ann one day. Ann and I were talking at the table. I'm like, we should create something that makes you feel like this, because Limitless, all these things on here. So it's hemp based, right? So it increases neurotransmission, anti-anxiety, stress relief, anti-inflammatory, all that fun stuff that hemp does, but also. Rhodiola is renowned for increases dopamine, increases serotonin. It's a mood enhancer. You feel phenomenal on it, right? So in every other one of these, the tulsi, turmeric, saffron, vanilla, and rose, all support the rhodiola in increasing serotonin, increases dopamine, and mental clarity. So when you take it, you feel incredible. And I also just did a whole TikTok thing on this, on how this actually is libido enhancing. Best way of putting it. That's what it's phenomenal for that. On a separate note, so Limitless is one half of the equation for trying to mimic the feeling you get from dosing, right? The second half is the Elixir for Life. Now, lion's mane. So this is lion's mane, chaga, birch poplar, chicken of the woods, turkey tail, maitake, iceman skunk, and our skunk. So that's what this is, right? This is an incredible thing. Also, screenshot.
I love how prepared you are.
Well, there's so much information. It's a lot of information. So
no, I'm not being sarcastic. I love how prepared you are.
So lion's mane is the closest mushroom you can. Taking enough lion's mane is the closest mushroom you can get to the experience of other dosing that you can do and buy legally, right? So this Elixir for Life we created because it actually it all works on brain chemistry, neurotransmission. It fights dementia also, but it does everything you can for the brain. All of these are immune boosting, and anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is actually one of the biggest things that for cause of like dementia or issues with the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these are anti-inflammatory, and they all work on rebuilding neurotransmission and as a neuroprotectant. So when you put these two together, increasing brain function, cognitropic and cognitive functions with the feeling of the limitless is the closest thing we can get when you take those together. The idea is to take a dropper of this and a dropper of this in the morning, and a dropper of this and a dropper of this at night,
Mm-hmm.
and that's phenomenal. And this was created off of doing a round of dosing. So dose up. It's phenomenal for you. Anyways, yeah, so those are both phenomenal. Those are both great. And I take them both daily. They're freaking fantastic.
I haven't tried the elixir of life, but you just sold me on it, so
Oh, so good.
I'll have to talk to your wife about it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so actually surprised she hasn't told you about Elixir for Life.
Well, I don't think she hasn't not told me about it, but she, you know, so I haven't told anyone yet, but you're Anne's husband.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Anne's husband.
oh hey, oh hey. So whenever she tests me monthly,
Well,
like
Anne's my wife, actually. I'm not her husband. She's my wife.
oh. Okay, but anyway, so whenever she tests me, like that always comes up for me. Like the elixir of life hasn't come up for me yet, so.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. It's fantastic. It's also mushrooms as a whole. Like hemp has all their things. Mushroom also the primary things are immune support and gut health. So anyone that has any issues, regardless of wanting brain support, but
Mm-hmm.
also the natural properties are immune support and gut health. So it's incredible. And then another quick one that we created. This one it's called Power Up. It's actually the probably most powerful immune boosting one I have here, and it's a mix of echinacea and elderberry.
Oh,
And
nice.
this is phenomenal. This I take daily throughout the winter with our remedy, which
Mm.
for whatever reason I didn't grab. Our remedy is a cough syrup, is a herbal cough syrup. Great product also. But these are my primary sellers, and those are all online.
Great.
And yeah, so it's all really good stuff.
Yeah. Amazing. I have a quick question for you about like CBD stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of popping up in like everything.
Mhm.
And after a while I'm like, okay, do we need fucking CBD in like every single lotion? And like at a point, is it even effective?
Okay, so here's the thing. There are several different ways of taking the delivery system of CBD, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's full spectrum, there's broad
Okay.
spectrum, and then there's an isolate. All majority, when I mean majority, I mean like 95% of the stuff that's CBD out there, it's in it, is a CBD isolate. And what they do is they take the hemp plant and they just extract the one compound of CBD so they can
Okay.
say on their label, topical muscle rub with CBD, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's for pain relief or anti-inflammatory. But when you look at it, it'll say CBD isolate 100 milligrams, and it's inside of a 16-ounce container. There is
Okay.
near zero,
Okay.
I mean like 0.0001% benefit of that because it's just an isolate. It's only 100 milligrams, and it's inside of a gallon of product. So no, that is
Okay.
crap. Absolute crap. What you want to find, if you can find a product, and there's a few out there, and actually with Ann, we're actually in the middle of creating a face product, a face cream. So
I
you
know. I'm so
want
excited.
the lesser the ounce container with the
More
higher
potent.
milligram product of full spectrum. So if you can
Okay.
find like a 1 ounce face cream or 2 ounce face cream that has 3, 4, 5, 600 milligrams of full spectrum hemp,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you want because that has all the cannabinoids in it and a small, compact, concentrated face cream, right? So to answer your question, yes, a lot of it's crap. A lot of it's crap.
Yeah.
And they're actually diluting the market to the point where, like you just said, it doesn't even matter. And it really hurts the people that are trying to actually help. There are businesses like myself, like Ann, like local business I have here. I'm sure there's local businesses by you that are generally trying to help people
Right.
with like a torn rotator cuff. You can take hemp internally and massage it on, and that will actually help you if you actually have the right product. But again, if you're just getting the gas station sushi, it's not going to do anything for you, and you're going to get pissed off and disheartened. And so then when you come to see someone like me, and you're like, oh, it's just crap, just give me a coffee because I know none of this stuff works, it really hurts the industry as a whole, which is really unfortunate because there are people really trying to help you, help others. It's a quick get rich, fly by night kind of business, and it hurts. Right. It hurts the real people, unfortunately.
For sure. Yeah, it's just it's a buzzword, so people want to capitalize on it.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
All right, well, it's been lovely talking to you. I personally have learned so much about CBD and hemp and even the products that you sell that I take every day. I was like, I know they're good for me, but I learned a lot more. So I'm even more excited to take them. So where can people find you if it's legal for me to share that information?
100%. So my website is cafebluedream.com. The best place to interact with me is social media, Instagram, which is cafe_blue_dream. So Cafe Blue Dream. And that is the best place. I'll answer though the DMs there fastest, and where I have all my information. It's the best place to get a hold of me.
Perfect. Well, you are a wealth of information, and you're always fun to talk to, and no one should be scared to come in and ask you anything because you're an open book.
Never, of course, yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. A lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Of course. Thanks for coming to my podcast, and until next time, everyone out there, stay brilliant.
Bye.